This movie just went in a lot of different places than I expected it to go based on the trailer, and I don't completely know what to think about it, but I think I really appreciated it. So, yeah, Dream Scenario was a pretty good time, I have to say. Here's the thing with this movie. I feel like it's best going into it blind, or as blind as possible. So, if this is the type of movie where you haven't seen it yet and you really want that experience, let me leave you with just a few expectations. The trailers suggest and make it look like that this movie is a lot more of a comedy than a horror. It's a bit more horrific than that trailer depicts. You know, this movie does go in certain places that feel very Ari Aster-esque, hence why he produced the movie, but also the comedy feels very Ari Aster, also hence why he produced the movie. So, yeah, just definitely go in with those expectations that this movie is very horror comedy, not like horror little bit comedy. You know, a different movie with Nick Cage that has a lot more horror comedy is Renfield, which I reviewed months ago. But yeah, so Dream Scenario, just a lot scarier than you would expect. Secondly, is Nick Cage gives a fantastic performance here. This might be the best Nicolas Cage performance I have ever seen. It's that or it's Pig, you know, and I have not seen enough Nick Cage. You know, I have not seen modern movies like Mandy, but I also haven't seen a lot of his older films, you know? So obviously I am not a good person to judge, but of his films, like this and Pig are the two best performances I've ever seen Nick Cage do. So yeah, take that as you will. And last but not least, there is a fart joke in this movie, and it is the best fart joke I have ever seen in a movie. Just period. If you didn't have a reason to go and check out this movie, I think it's worth it just for the fart joke. And also, on one last note, you should really see this movie in theaters. The theater experience really enhances this film in particular. And now, if you don't want to know anything else about this film, I'm not going to go into spoilers for the rest of this review, but I'm just going to go into a bit more detail. Please click off of the video now. It was really nice to have you, but if you're sticking around, let's talk a little more. Essentially, what you're getting with this film is just the downfall of our main character. And, you know, you just see him and he's living his life, and, you know, he's obviously not like peaking, but he's comfortable. And then, you know, just slowly he makes this one mistake, and that one mistake sort of catapults from the sudden stardom that he had to him suddenly becoming this just bane of existence type of a figure, where everybody just wanted him gone in a way because he made everybody uncomfortable. And honestly, the way that those scenes were done, once he was making people uncomfortable, I thought were just masterful. Like the pure just grief I felt as a viewer, seeing how this man's life just had unraveled before my eyes, was just really heartbreaking. And I don't want to reveal the details of that. I want you to experience it for yourself. But just, you know, this movie is really emotional, and I was very surprised by that. The way I look at this film is that you come for the comedy, you are intrigued by the horror, but you stay for the character study that is this film, because that's really what it is. You know, it is a character study on Nick Cage's character, but also kind of on humanity and fame as a whole. And I think there is a bit of cancel culture in here, but I think it's bigger than cancel culture, because the cancel culture idea of this film is addressed so directly, where just movies are so much more than what they directly address in the film. I almost feel like this film is a bit of a commentary on being famous, and that it's not as easy as it looks, which I thought is sort of just an interesting aspect. And that's exactly what happens to Nicolas Cage's character in this film. I thought it was brilliant. Was it perfect? No. This film was not perfect. I think that there were a few moments that just, I don't know, I was kind of lost in a few moments, definitely. There was one part of the ending where I was so worried they were going to end on that part. And like, it would have really hurt the movie for me, but luckily they didn't end there and they ended on a different part that was a lot more ambiguous. I definitely appreciated that ambiguity a lot more. However, I do wish that we got to explore the aspect that this film chose to end on even more. I don't want to say what that is, but if you've seen this film, you will understand, and if you plan to see this film, I hope you see what I mean. Or maybe you disagree with me, I don't know, but you can let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, please feel free to like and subscribe. This is a very small channel that I am very passionate about, but I would love to have your support. When it comes to my rating for this film, I'm a little torn, but at the end of the day, I think it's a 4-star movie. If you would like to see another review, you can check this review of May December out right now. Take care, everyone.